Welcome, students, to Writing Rehab. Yes, trying to make it sound as exciting as I possibly can, but I know that most of you dread writing. It's only because you really have some things to fix, but I promise you throughout this year, you will get better at writing. Today we are focusing on the type of writing that we've been doing throughout this unit, which is literary analysis. Take a few minutes to answer your do now question. Please tell me what is a literary analysis and write down what you know and any expectations for this type of essay very quickly. Okay, so a literary analysis. Literary is the adjective form of the word literature. That's it. Simple as that. It's just a fancy word for writing or text. Analysis means to examine. Examine. Look at closely. Like when you go to the doctor examines you and tries to find out what's wrong and what's going on with you. Analysis means to examine elements or structure closely. A literary analysis essay may ask you to analyze any of the following things: characters, setting, point of view, plot development, the use of literary elements in the story or the text, such as foreshadowing, suspense, imagery, symbolism, the use of dialogue. It may also ask you to analyze the development of the character or the impact that the setting has on the character. So any of these things can basically be analyzed in an essay. Um, Basic format for literary analysis, and I've been giving you the checklist. And eventually, I will not be allowed to give you that checklist anymore, especially like for our testing and stuff like that. I can't give you the checklist. So you have to become familiar with the basic format of the literary analysis. First, you have an introduction. Title of the text should be in there. The author of the text. You should restate the prompt. This essay will. You don't ever need to put I in there because this is not a narrative. This is analysis. You are analyzing something else, something that the author did, not that you did. Body paragraph should restate part of the prompt. Topic sentence. Restate part of the prompt, and it should be like a topic sentence. You should never repeat what the restate is that you put in the introduction. Body paragraph should be 2 to 3 paragraphs, 2 pieces of evidence in each, explanation of evidence which connects back to the question that you're answering, and then a conclusion. In your introduction paragraph, the title is always capitalized and it's either underlined or in quotation marks, depending on if it's a novel or an article. Restate should not be in the form of a question. You have to make sure your restate is a statement, telling the reader exactly what you're going to analyze in this essay. Remember, never use I. It's not about what you are doing. It's about what you're analyzing, something that was done in the text. It should be 2 to 3 sentences. My suggestion is to use the rule of 3 to give your readers a hint of what your body paragraphs will cover. Okay, so for example, the last essay that we just did, where it talks about Jonas's change in point of view. In order to talk about something changing, you have to kind of like first analyze what was it before, what caused it to change, and then what was it now. So you should have put something in the introduction that kind of spoke to those 3 parts and what you were going to cover in those body paragraphs. The practice prompt that we're going to use today is right here. It says, analyze Jonas's point of view during the ceremony of 12. Cite several pieces of text that reveals his feelings before, during, and after the ceremony. So for this practice, we're going to zero in on a very specific time period in the novel instead of a long period of time or 2 different pieces of text. Okay. And this prompt kind of sets up for you what the body paragraphs are basically going to be about: his feelings before, during, and after the ceremony. So let's look at the body paragraph practice. If we were writing the first body paragraph for this practice prompt, then we would be talking about Jonas's point of view before the ceremony. Look for clues in your prompt to determine what each body paragraph should cover. You should not copy the same restate from the introduction into your body paragraph as your topic sentence. Do not do that. You want to write as though your reader has never read the book. So you have to give them some explanation or background about the book or the character. So here we go. Look at my topic sentence for body paragraph number 1. Lois Lowry begins the novel by describing how nervous Jonas is about the upcoming ceremony of 12. And throughout the story, she builds up to the actual day of the ceremony by revealing Jonas's apprehension. Apprehension is just another word for nervousness. I've already identified a feeling that he was feeling before the ceremony. Okay, so now on your handout, we've done a do now. We've went through these guided notes. Feel free to stop the video at any time to go back and review those notes. I know the video may go a little bit fast. These are all of the ECRs, which stands for Extended Constructive Response, that we've had so far. Number 4 is the one we were actually supposed to start on today, but I felt that one was a little bit harder, so that's why I came up with the practice prompt. So we're at the introduction stage, and you have actually, I need to rewind. You were supposed to practice during your introduction. So please pause the video now, write down your introduction, and don't forget, I am going to check this your handout to see if you are actually trying and practicing writing and getting better at these introductions. Let's move on back to the body paragraph practice. I just read for you the topic sentence. Now it's your turn. You need to come up with a topic sentence for the second body paragraph, okay? The second body paragraph. So if you need to go back and reread your prompt, it says, analyze Jonas's point of view during the ceremony of 12. Cite several pieces of text that reveals his feelings before, during, and after the ceremony. I just wrote the topic sentence for the before, which will be body paragraph number 1. You're writing the topic sentence, or practicing writing the topic sentence for body paragraph number 2, his feelings during the ceremony. Okay. Let's move on to another big problem area, which is evidence. Most of you are not putting in 2 pieces of evidence. But another big problem, you're not introducing the evidence with any type of sentence starter. Some very common sentence starters are things like in the text, or for example, on page such and such, or according to the text. A few things that you need to remember about text. Textual evidence. You need to explain to the reader what is going on in the story, where the evidence comes from. Never put evidence back to back. It should be evidence, then explanation, evidence, then explanation. Select the best piece of evidence that best answers the question, and evidence should not be more than 2 to 3 sentences long. Okay, so please remember that. And when you are copying evidence, it should be word for word. Go back in your text and make sure you have copied that evidence correctly. So I need to add that probably to this slide as well. So on your handout, you will see that I did a model for you of evidence. It says Jonas has a private talk with his mother and father about his feelings about the ceremony, and they try to reassure him that his feelings are normal. Jonas's nervousness is clearly displayed in the text from in chapter 1, page 9, reads, I know there's really nothing to worry about, and that every adult has been through it. I know you have, mother, and you too, father, but it's a ceremony I'm apprehensive about. It's almost December. And that is Jonas actually speaking. But what I want you to notice is I told you exactly what was going on in this part of the novel, and I have my intro to my evidence is in bold. I underlined my evidence. So now I want you to do the same thing. Stop, pause the video, and try to come up with a piece of evidence that shows his nervousness before the ceremony. Because remember, your body paragraphs have to have at least 2 pieces of evidence. All right, I'm quickly approaching the end of my video because of time. So let me quickly go through the explanation. Explanation should be 2 to 3 sentences long. Do not repeat what the text says. Keep the prompt in mind and make sure you are connecting the text to the question. So this is my model explanation. Jonas's